Sometimes people don't leave all at once. They don't always announce their distance, and they rarely explain what changed. Instead, something quieter happens. The replies become shorter, the enthusiasm slowly fades, the emotional warmth begins to feel different. And you are left with a confusing question in your mind. What actually changed? Today, let's explore the deeper psychology behind why people sometimes lose interest and why this shift is often more gradual than it appears. In the early stage of any emotional connection, the human brain releases a powerful chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is strongly linked to novelty and anticipation. It makes new experiences feel exciting and emotionally rewarding. This is why, in the beginning, conversations feel effortless, attention feels intense, and the emotional energy between two people can feel unusually strong. But the human brain has one important characteristic: it adapts. Over time, what once felt new begins to feel familiar. What once created excitement starts to feel normal. This process is completely natural. It happens in many areas of life, not just in relationships. Sometimes, when interest appears to drop, it is not because the person suddenly stopped caring. It may simply be that the brain is no longer producing the same level of chemical excitement it did at the beginning. Another important psychological factor involves emotional investment. Human beings naturally pay more attention to things that feel slightly uncertain or out of reach. When attention becomes extremely predictable or constantly available, the brain may unconsciously reduce its level of focus. This is not usually done on purpose. In many cases, the person is not even aware that their emotional response is slowly changing. It is simply a subtle shift in perception and attention. Emotional pacing plays a bigger role in human connection than most people realize. There is also the quiet impact of unspoken disappointment. Many connections do not weaken because of one major mistake. Instead, small moments begin to accumulate. Expectations that were never clearly communicated, feelings that were never fully expressed, needs that were quietly overlooked. Individually, these moments may seem small, but over time, they can slowly create emotional distance between two people. One of the most challenging parts is that this process is often silent. Nothing dramatic happens. There is no clear argument, no obvious breaking point, just a gradual emotional shift that becomes noticeable only after it has already begun. Another powerful factor is mental and emotional overload. Sometimes the change in someone's energy has very little to do with the relationship itself. Modern life places a heavy cognitive load on the human brain. Work pressure, personal responsibilities, financial stress, and emotional fatigue can all reduce a person's available mental energy. When the brain becomes overwhelmed, it naturally begins to conserve resources. One of the ways it does this is by reducing emotional engagement in multiple areas of life, including relationships. From the outside, this can easily look like someone is losing interest, but internally, the person may simply be mentally exhausted and operating in a low-energy state. There is also the psychology of predictability. Human attention is strongly connected to curiosity. The brain is naturally drawn to things that feel dynamic, slightly uncertain, or emotionally stimulating. When interactions become completely predictable, the level of mental stimulation can decrease. This does not mean stable connections are bad, but it does explain why emotional intensity sometimes fades when novelty disappears. The brain is always trying to conserve energy while seeking meaningful stimulation. This balance quietly shapes many human behaviors. Another subtle element is emotional safety versus emotional excitement. At the beginning of many connections, uncertainty creates heightened attention. Over time, as comfort increases, the nervous system becomes calmer. In healthy situations, this leads to stability and trust.
But in some cases, the reduced emotional intensity can be misinterpreted by the brain as reduced interest. The shift is psychological, not always intentional. This is why human relationships often feel more complex than they appear on the surface. So when someone's energy changes, it is rarely the result of one single moment. It is usually a combination of adaptation, emotional balance, mental capacity, and changing psychological signals. Most of this happens quietly, gradually, and often without either person fully understanding when the shift began. Understanding these patterns is not about overanalyzing every situation. It's about developing awareness. Because when you understand how human attention and emotion naturally fluctuate, you stop taking every change personally, and you start seeing human behavior with more clarity and emotional intelligence. If this perspective helped you understand things a little more clearly, consider subscribing for more psychology insights that explore how the human mind really works.